Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll be talking about how we can integrate the TestSprite's test, which are generated using the TestSprite AI MCP server agent, and run them in the CI/CD pipeline. We know that TestSprite's MCP server helps us generate the code which can be used for running our test. So we can see that using the TestSprite MCP server, we can generate the entire test, and also it is going to help us run the full end-to-end test of our application with the power of the AI agents. We have already discussed about that many times. If you're really not watched this video, I highly recommend to watch these videos that you are seeing over here. And well, as that said, in this particular video, we are going to skip the way that we can generate the code with the TestSprite's MCP server agent, but we are going to be running these tests in the CI/CD pipeline in the GitHub Actions workflow. That's what we're going to be doing in this particular video. So if you just go to the documentation of the TestSprite, you can see that they have got something called as the GitHub integration as well. And in the GitHub integration, they have told there are two types of GitHub integration that you can do. One is using the GitHub Apps. Another one is using the GitHub Actions. So essentially, GitHub Apps is the recommended version because with the GitHub Apps, it is best for the teams who are using the Vercel, Netlify, or Render, or other managed platform. But what if you don't have a managed platform, but your application is something which is going to be running on a Docker container or something like that? Then you can use the GitHub Actions for that matter. And this is what we are going to be using. I don't really have an application with the Vercel, Netlify, or Render to run my application on a managed platform. Rather, I'm going to use the GitHub Actions to do this operation. So the way I can actually do this entire operation is that you need to somehow build this application on a Docker container and let the TestSprite MCP server, which is going to be running using the proxy server operation, to access your application and run that on the TestSprite Cloud. So how can we actually achieve that? Well, the way we can achieve this is using this particular architecture that you are seeing over here. I know this is very, very convoluted because there are so many moving parts over here. And to simplify this entire diagram, I asked the Gemini to generate me a diagram, and it just came up with this amazing diagram. I really love this. So what we are doing over here is that as a developer, you're going to be pushing a code to the GitHub using the local machine that you have got, and it is going to do a trigger in the CI workflow. And the CI workflow that we are going to be building is going to have these many phases. As you can see over here, it's going to have a build phase, tunneling phase, and test execution phase. So in the build phase, we are going to be building our application, which is going to be running on a Docker container. That's not a big deal at all, because my application has got both the front end running on the White and the back end, which is running on the Node and Express. These things are going to be built in the Docker container, and they'll be running in the Docker Compose probably. So this is how things are going to work. And then you're going to have a tunneling phase. So this is the place where the application, which is going to be running in the build phase, is going to be accessed via the Cloudflare library. So this library is going to do a tunneling, and your application is going to be temporarily available on an IP address or domain address, something like this. So xx.trycloudflare.com is one of the tunnel URL that you have got, and this tunnel URL can be used only for the execution phase. So this is going to be very, very random, very, very dynamic, and this is not going to be accessed by anybody outside of this particular URL. So nobody's going to really access that, right? So this is what is the Cloudflare Edge Network is going to do. So again, if you don't want this particular solution, you can actually use what is called as the GitHub Apps, which is going to be for the Vercel, Netlify, or Render, essentially for the managed services. And because I don't have the managed service, this is the workaround that I have to do for the tunneling phase. And once the tunneling phase is done, now this application can be accessed by the TestSprite MCP server or the TestSprite platform itself, because now they have the full access to our application, which is available on the public domain. And once you have that, then the TestSprite is going to do the Playwright browser instantiation, running the test, and then it is going to keep on sending the request and response to the MCP server. And you can also see the nice little dashboard going to open and show you what is the test progress for that. So those things you can achieve it using this entire operation. And in order to achieve that, what I have done over here is I have already created a super simple repository just like 11 minutes ago, as you can see over here. And this is the same application that I have talked many times, which is this one, as you can see over here. And I have got the backend, there is this front end, and I have also use the power of the TestSprite MCP server to generate the test with the AI agent. We have already talked about that millions of times. I'm really not going to talk about that particular part at least. And we're going to run these tests in the CI/CD pipeline right now. So how can I actually able to achieve that while running these particular tests in the CI/CD pipeline? So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to first of all create a workflow file over here. So the way I'm going to do it is just create a .github folder over here, and then create a new folder called as workflow or workflows, whatever. And within this workflows file, you are going to be creating a file called as ci.yaml. Right, so this is the file that I'm going to be creating. And over here, I'm going to create this particular file, something like this, as you can see over here. And this is very, very super simple file, really. So it is going to be running on every main branch and pull request branch as well. And the job over here is going to check out the code. It's going to run on the Ubuntu operating system on the container, and this is the Docker Compose. It is going to be spinning up, and you can see that it's going to run the front end. It's also going to be running the back end, as I told you, and then it is going to start the Cloudflare tunnel operation. So this is where the Cloudflare library is going to be used, and once we are going to be running this particular library, we can then point the URL of this particular front end and the back end together to the tunneling operation, so that I can then access it from this particular URL. So now that is gonna give me an URL, as you can see over here. Like this is the URL that I'm going to be getting on the random basis. And once I get this particular URL, I'm then going to pass this particular URL to my TestSprite over here. Is that the base URL has been changed to a tunnel URL. So this is not going to be the local URL, but the tunnel URL that I'm passing in. And this is where I'm going to do it. So this is the most important part that I think that you need to be understanding. So I'm essentially going to be calling the TestSprite action over here. And this is the action that I'm actually calling for the TestSprite. So this is the thing that which the TestSprite team has created. TestSprite/run action at v1. So you can actually Google search this particular action and you will end up in the GitHub repository. So we're just gonna go over here. See that this is the GitHub repository of TestSprite, and they have got this run action, which is essentially going to be running the pipeline operation that we just saw there. See, this is the one that they have mentioned. I've just copy pasted exactly from the TestSprite's GitHub action repository over here. And once you do that, here is the thing that you have to create a secret called as TestSprite API key, and then you need to pass that in the pipeline for that over here. So I don't really have that at the moment. I have configured. So in order to do that, just go to the settings and go to the secrets and variables, go to action, and you see that there is something called as repository secrets. So go and click this new repository secrets and create a new repository secret over here, which is the TestSprite API key. And I need the API key over here. So this API key is something that I can actually get from the TestSprite platform itself. I think the one that I need to do is just log into my TestSprite account, and I can get a new API key, which is from this place, the API key, and I'm going to get a new API key for the GitHub API key. I already have one, so that's why I'm just renaming it something very, very fancy there. All right, just copied it, and I'm going to go to the secrets. I'm going to paste this particular secret, add this particular secret. That's it. This is how you add the secret over here in your repository. And now you can just go back to this particular CI/CD, because we have just added the say.yaml file. I'm going to create a new branch over here. I'm going to call this as added workflow, something like this. Create this particular new branch. And I'm going to push this change, added workflow file, commit this change, publish this branch, and this branch is now every single time while I'm gonna be running this in the pipeline, it is going to run the actual pipeline, the workflow as well that we have just created. So if I'm gonna go back over here in the EA employee with the TestSprite over here, you see that we have got the repository secret being added, which is amazing. And now if I'm gonna go to the actions, I supposedly see there is a workflow running. See that there is this workflow running, which is cool. And now we have this build and test workflow running, and you see what's really happening. So now my application is starting to build, and it is going to wait for the front end to be executed. And you can see that now there is this run test sprite action is actually starting to run. So this is the place where the test sprite action is going to be instantiated, and this test is going to actually run for you while this execution is going to happen. So this is going to be the real test is running in the pipeline right now, and it is going to show you the output. So I'm just going to wait for this test execution to happen because we have got around 20 test case there. So it is going to take some time at least to execute this entire test. So I'm just going to wait to see what's really going to happen. And you can see that currently the test execution has successfully completed. There are some tests which did not pass, and this is something I made it intentionally to fail. That is totally fine. And you can see that the PR, the blocking the PR as requested. So that's how I have actually made, so that if the tests are failing, just block the PR and don't let it merge, right? That is what I have told over here. And now if I'm going to go to the action over here, you can see that these are the things that really has happened, the build and test, and it's going to show you the entire detail. So now if I'm going to go to my pull request there, you can actually see that within my pull request, you can see that I have got a section for the GitHub action over here like 2 minutes ago, and it has executed 22 test cases, which has got 6 failing tests and 16 passing tests. And this is the status over here. Look at that. We have got the entire test execution happening from the test sprite running in the pipeline. And if I'm going to go and click this test sprite running the result page over here, it is going to show you an amazing test sprite dashboard, which is going to show you how the test execution has really happened. This is quite amazing. Now you can also see there is a report which is also part of the test sprite execution. And if I'm going to go and click this particular report, you can also see there is a video for what exactly has happened in the execution. See, you can see the test execution has just happened successfully. And these are all happening because my application is currently deployed in the Docker container, been tunneled in the Cloudflare, and then it is accessed from the test sprites tunneling as well. And then it is all running over here. Look at like how beautiful these tests are executed. So this is the way that we can actually do the integration of our test, which are going to let the test sprite tests to be running in the pipeline for every single pull request that we are going to be doing. So every single time, if there's going to be a pull request going to happen, these tests are going to be now executed as a part of those pipeline pull requests, and you're going to get an amazing report. So hope you got the idea of how these things are working. Thank you so much for watching this video. Catch you in the next one.